Well, we weren't planning on doing this. We was planning on doing what we normally do and waiting until the day after the dust has settled and we can take a little bit of a step back. After that display at St Mary's, that went out the window. I just felt I needed to get this off my chest, and I've spoke with Duke, and he was like, "Yeah, okay." He wants to get it off his chest as well. We've also got someone that's in the green room, and I'll bring him in a minute to give his perspective on things. But Duke, that was appalling.
Yeah. Oh, Rob. Oh, I'm trying so hard not to just absolutely let rip right now. Like, damn, that was awful.
Yep.
Like, and that's me being polite right now, Rob. I can't. I'd quite happily go to town with more language than I could ever possibly not want to use on this. I'm fuming. The players that were out on that pitch, Rob, like they're professional footballers, Rob, right?
Well, you say that.
I say that. I use that term loosely. Hang on, I want to have a quick look at. Okay, yeah, I'm going to style that. That's fine. I can't even. I'm so angry, Rob.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you're obviously trying to compose yourself and get the words out, we've actually got two people in the green room at the minute. I
don't think either of them are going to compose themselves as well as I am. Well, I can see him holding his face. The poor sod. He's like, "Do I have to? Do I have to?" I know he is.
I sent the link out, and he's very kindly decided to join us. Lucas, how are you, sir?
I'm appalled.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a great choice of words. Normally, every other week, I try to come up with a new word, but they don't seem to keep running out. Appalling's a good one for the midweek. Yeah. We'll try and find a new one for Sunday.
Well, let's ask our other guest, Budgie. What word would you use to describe what you've just witnessed?
Fucking atrocious.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
It sounds like you got your head in a bucket, to be honest.
Hold on. 1 second.
Listen, I'll get this out the way right from the get-go. Right now, Southampton, when they put their team out, I'll be honest, I looked at the team that we put out, I looked at the team that they put out, and I went, mate, I know we're the away team. I know they've got 2 extra days rest, but put that to one side. That is a team we should be looking to take care of. If we're a team that have aspirations of getting into European competitions, if we've got a team that's got aspirations of winning this tournament that we're now out of, then that team that Southampton have put out really should have been there for the taking. And other than probably a 20, 30-minute spell in the first half, I thought we was absolutely... no other word for it. Shit. Absolute shit. I try not to get too sort of, shouty and screamy, as you know, Duke. I try and be a little bit calm.
No,
but that was fucking appalling.
Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't even that good, Scott.
Listen, Rob says it right. It was a game of 2 halves. I'm not being funny. We should have been 2 up before they even put the ball in the back of the net, Rob. I put it in our chat that Antonio kept overthinking things like, Jesus Christ, man, either pull the trigger, put the ball in the back of the fucking net, or lay the ball off quicker and do the job. Like, my good God, I'm glad he broke his duck. I am. I was buzzing when he put that ball in the back of the net, but he dicked around too much in the first half when we were in real good positions on the edge of the box, edge of the 6-yard box, trying to walk the ball into the back of the net. We're not Manchester City. We can't do that. Like Declan Rice at the weekend hit the post with an absolute scorcher. For some reason, we didn't try that again tonight. Yet Perrault or whatever the fucking geezer's name is scored an absolute banger. That I have to say, right? And the Fabianski haters out there are gonna go, yes, you're wrong. Areola was superb, and he's and they're gonna go, Fabianski wouldn't have saved it. And then there's those that are going, you know what? He should have done better with that. That's pretty much slap bang down the middle of the goal, probably 2 yards over.
I blame Ben Johnson. I don't think he got quickly out.
No,
he might have still scored, but he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't get there quick enough. But for me, his positioning shocking for that goal. And I mean fucking shocking. He made up for it later in the second half with a good save. But he was. His positioning was shocking, but I'm so annoyed. The players out there, I felt were walking around. It didn't seem like there was any impetus. Hammerhead says there wasn't enough shots being taken. You know, I don't mean to be disrespectful, and the guy is 4 years younger than me coming up. But that goalkeeper was fucking 40 years old. 40 years old.
And he's not a good goalkeeper either.
I'm not talking Gianluigi Buffon.
Didn't make him work
old.
at all night either.
Yeah, no. I'm not talking that. I'm talking me, 40 years old in goal, right? Like,
Caballero is not a good goalkeeper.
Like, my God. But then I'm sitting here and I'm angry, and we're all pissed off, and everyone in the chat and all the rest of it, we're angry. And I've had a message from my brother and one of my best mates say we're there tonight, and they've asked for a shout out. So hello Neil, hello Danny. Put something in the chat. Let us know you're there.
Safe journey home, boys.
We should have seen this coming, boys. We should have seen this coming. We went 120 minutes against a fucking side out the conference. Why are we surprised that we've just lost 3-1 to Southampton in the FA Cup when the players played no differently than they did against Kidderminster? Like, why are we sitting here surprised? Like, I'm not being funny. I'll put it in the chat. You boys know this because you're all in there, right? We went strong. We went strong tonight. Exactly what I predicted last night, Rob, when I said I want him to go strong. Yes. I couldn't give a fuck if we got embarrassed against Liverpool on Saturday, but we went strong tonight and won. Right?
I agree.
We've gone strong tonight and lost, and we're going to get embarrassed by Liverpool on Saturday. Like, what the... Oh, God, I can't. Like, I'm so angry. I've got some comparisons in a minute. I've got some stuff I want to read out. I'm going to let the two boys underneath us over here, there they are. I'm going to let them have a say while I compose myself, maybe go for a wee and come back and do it again because I'm on what I believe to be my 8th pint so far. So let's go.
Oh, this could be interesting. Lucas, what was your thoughts when you saw the Southampton lineup? I mean, you must have thought the same as me that that's a team that we ought to be putting to the sword.
I was overjoyed personally because I saw before the match that Ralph said there was going to be several changes, and I was like, hopefully that's like 11 changes. I think they made 9. 9 changes.
Yeah, 9 changes, yeah.
And as a betting man, I just kept seeing the odds go down and down and then up for us, and I was like, this could be good. This could be good, but fucking same old fucking West Ham every fucking time.
Yeah, it's the hope that kills you, isn't it?
Just bottle jobs, man. And it's the same thing. We put out the best 11 that we possibly can. I mean, really, in my opinion, I don't think we could have put out a better 11 and fucking pissed it away. Maybe 2 players on the pitch really gave a shit. That's what it seemed. And
who was the 2 players you think were the standouts in your opinion?
Rice and Zuma. Easy. Just like every other week. I mean, I just can't understand what it is. I don't know what these lads need. Like, a kick up the ass hasn't worked. Clearly, just no one's doing enough. And I put it out too. I tweeted it. I was like, I don't understand why we try to play like who we aren't. Like, we keep trying to walk the ball into the fucking net, and we look shit doing it. So why do we do it?
Oh, that's not good to hear. Richard's at St. Mary's. That little statement there is not something that fills my heart with great joy. I hope you're safe, Richard. Hope you and Jake get home safely. Whatever's going on there, get yourself home. Sorry, Lucas.
Mate. Stay
you're good. But yeah, just a lot of things wrong tonight. We try to play like a squad that we're not, and I don't know what else they need to see, because obviously they watch film, they watch the matches back. I don't know what else more they need to see. And the match tonight was totally ass backwards. We were pretty good. We were pretty solid in the first half. We conceded. We were shit second half. We drew the game up, and then the last 30 minutes we were absolutely diabolical. Suicidal. Honestly.
Yeah. Your assessment, Budge. Give it to me.
Well, first off, I got to say, I was actually quite happy with the first half. I was quite pleased with what I was seeing. Thought Lanzini got himself about. Looked like he was going to have a great game. I think everybody kind of put a shift in the first half. When it came to the second half, that's when it all went tits up. I mean, you can't just blame the players for it, and you can't just blame Moyes for it. I think it was a combination of the fact that he should have switched up the tactics a little bit in the second half. They kind of got used to what we were doing in the first half. It started showing in the last sort of 8-10 minutes of it. So he should have switched it up, but he didn't. I think the substitutions were shit, to be honest with you.
Well, it's the same old though, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not saying he shouldn't have brought on Vlasic or Benrahma, to be fair. But I think he should have brought on another attacking option rather than, rather than just leave it as it was. He should.
That's what I don't get. Because they made 5 substitutions. Yeah, they made 5 substitutions. We made 2, and we had a game 2 days closer to this.
January is just the gift that keeps on giving.
Why are we not rotating? Why is he not rotating more? I mean, I don't understand it. I mean, and especially, right, I couldn't understand 5 minutes or so to go in a cup game that you are 2-1 down in. Why is he not looking at the bench and going, right, I need to make an attacking substitution here, because whether we lose 2-1 or 3-1, it doesn't matter. I might as well just go for it. Why was there no movement? Why was there, roll the dice, for fuck's sake. Roll the dice. Take a chance. We got at 2-1, we're going out anyway. So just fucking pull the trigger and let's see what happens.
He could have at least subbed off Dawson or Diop easily.
Yeah. Not for performance reasons. Absolutely not for performance reasons. But purely for tactical reasons. Okay, we're 2-1 down. Take off a more defensive-minded player. Put on a more attacking-minded player. Let's see what happens. But no.
It's just the same old story. We're not clinical at all, and everything we do seems to be suicidal. Like, don't get me wrong. I love Thomas Soucek so much. I do. He is an absolute bastard. But his passing is so diabolically atrocious.
Yeah.
It's so bad, and it hurts us so much. And again, I love Ben Johnson too. I rate him highly. But he is a great defender, but him going forward today was absolutely appalling. He played.
Did you see in the second half? He played a cross into the box, and I was on another group chat that my brother's in, And I turned around and said, you know, what's Johnson doing there, playing that ball in? And my brother turned around and said, but there was no one in the box. And I'm like, well, then why fucking play it in there in the first place?
They weren't the words you used, first and foremost. Okay, that's not what you said at all. Okay,
words to that effect.
I think there were more expletives.
Very likely.
Listen, boys, I don't know about you, but the only person out there tonight that I saw just give, there it is.
I know. I'll be angry for you, Charlie. Hope you will, mate.
Souček, he bled for the cause tonight again. Fuck me, that blood. I don't know how he does it. Ben Johnson, I think, thought he was coming up against Tyson Fury or someone else with a fantastic look into the jaw. I personally think, is it Broya went down like a sack of shit and wasted as much time as is humanly possible for what essentially was a soft tap to the jaw, but was holding his eyes like he'd gone blind.
They are fucking great at time wasting.
Oh, amazing!
But then that was absolutely the right thing to do in a cup game where you're 2-1 up.
Yes, you're right.
You're trying to
sort of wind the clock down. Team.
No, okay? I know.
Right. And Souček's replacement. Can we go there, or do you want to go somewhere else first?
No, please.
Can we go there now?
Do it.
All right, I've got a couple of things I'm going to give to you.
He's going to do it, boys. Sit back.
Right.
You know where he's going with this, don't you?
JC, you dropped this in the chat, did you not? Get rid of the banner for me.
Hang
on.
Get rid of that
because I can't press buttons at the same time. Right. Everyone who says that one man was a flop and the other man is the second coming and is our saviour, have a butchers. Just have a butchers at that. I know he's played 10 games more. But on the basis of what Ben Rama's about to do over the last 53 games, do we see him scoring another 4 in the next 10? I really don't.
Not in current form.
I mean, dog shit comes to mind. Like, yeah. Okay. So, I got the next one to come in. Okay. This is doing the rounds on Twitter. And I have something for you.
One thing I will say, just before you do, Duke, is in fairness to Ben Rama, he weren't the only one.
No, he wasn't.
Really wasn't.
I ain't digging him out on his own. It's only because I came across this on Twitter that I'm going to ask the question. Okay. So between the three of you, I'll go Rob, Budgie, then Lucas will come to you because that's the order you're on my screen in the shape of an L. Loser. L for losers, which is what we are this evening. Let's not fuck around. This question was asked on Twitter. Now I've deleted the person's hand.
He's shouting again. Hello, Sahil.
Oh Jesus, he's turned up. Press caps lock, Sahil. Press caps lock, please.
Stop shouting.
I have this for you.
Yep.
So Gatesy, please go first.
Now he's frozen.
My honest opinion on Saeed Ben Rama, I think I've already said it. I think he's a very technically gifted footballer. The problem is that he's not, for whatever reason, whether it's the player himself, whether it's the management side of things, whatever the reason, he has not consistently applied that talent, that undoubted talent, in Premier League football. He's not consistently done it. And as I say, if you was to get supporters from other Premier League clubs, so take the West Ham specs off, someone that's completely objective and impartial, turn around to Newcastle fan, turn around to a Tottenham fan, turn around to a Burnley fan, whatever, and say, has Saeed Ben Rama proven to you categorically that he deserves to be in the Premier League? I think the jury's out, and therein lies your problem.
Yeah.
Pudge?
Yeah. Listen, I'm aghast, mate. I'm absolutely aghast. I really don't know what to say. I mean, I thought we had it sewn up in the first half. I really thought we had a good thing going, and it just, I'm so fucking disappointed. It's really, really, really annoyed me. You know, I turned it off as soon as that third goal went in. I just turned TV off. Oh, nah, couldn't even be bothered. You know. It was like, I don't know. I think we need to have a re-evaluation of what we're doing. That's what I think.
Problem is, we've got. Sorry.
No, go on. You carry on, Rob. Go on.
No, sorry. It's all right. Go on.
Go on, Lucas.
I think it's a fair assessment because I do like Ben Rama, but inconsistent. I mean, he shows flashes, and then he goes missing. First half of the season not first half, but first couple months were great. Now not so great, and it's disappointing, and I really don't know. I do think we need a strong reevaluation of what we see ourselves doing and how we want to go about matches for next season, next season, because we can't obviously do much. We could have in January, but that's the gift that keeps on giving. I like him. I think he offers something, but I still don't think he's a Moyes player, nor did I think Moyes bought him. But I like Ben Rama, just inconsistent, just like a bunch of other players at the club right now. But that's my opinion.
I mean, listen, I as I said yesterday on the stream, and you boys have got the message that I put in the chat. Yeah, I put in the chat when Benny came off the bench on 55 minutes.
Yep.
I put in the chat that I want nothing more than a Benny masterclass for the next 35 minutes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. As you put, Rob, he'll probably go and score and have the best game of his life. Rada. Right. Now, I'm gonna read out a few things on Twitter, and then I'm gonna come back. I've got about 8 messages starred on here. All right. So a few things on Twitter. I think people are being a bit harsh on him, because he was a very overhyped signing and he hasn't lived up to expectations. He's not been at his best for a while either, but then again, neither of the others. Still think he could be a bit of a key. It could be a key bit of depth for us going forward, as he's something different. The next person puts he's a good player, needs a bit of a run of games. He was terrible tonight, but we can't expect him to perform when he only gets 20 or 30 minutes. Next person, shocking. He gave the ball away consistently. Next person, he's genuinely a good player, but he's not getting any confidence because of the way Moyes and the fans treat him. Not good enough. We need someone who's going to show up more than once every 12 to 15 games. Someone's put he was shit tonight. He's so inconsistent too. Was too inconsistent, way too inconsistent and unreliable. Would have been a decent gamble at 8 million, but 30 million is laughable. Well, it was 25. Technically gifted beyond belief, but he's thick. He's too stupid and lacking in football IQ to actually impact games. Would be a good street act doing kick-ups and step-overs. He's gone from a promising start of the season to being bang average since Christmas. Lucas, that's essentially what you just touched on, really. Bin him off, get what we can. He's a show pony. Had 35 minutes tonight, didn't feel like he touched the ball. Overrated, was poor. Getting back to Brentford, there's better out there. Shit, perhaps harsh. He's a great footballer, but has to produce, but he's robotic. Did he play? Awful decision-making, ruining a great technically gifted player. Championship player, overrated. Ass, would happily sell him. Tommy, 10 touches, and by that I mean he can't do a one-touch pass. He has to touch the ball 10 times when he gets it before he knows what he wants to do with it. He's a ball juggler. He's brilliant, but inconsistent, frustrating. Selling back to Brentford. Shit, sell, poor, bugs me, wank. I love that one. It's all just the same, right? It's all just the same.
There must be people defending him, surely.
Very few, Rob. Very few on there. The ones that I read out to you were the ones that were. Now, in our chat here, I've got 8-starred comments. West Ham Iron says, what was the point of Vlasic coming on? Ben Rama did nothing either. They were both poor. Completely agree on that. They were both as bad as each other. Rob wants to know why we took Fornals off.
Great first half.
Why are we playing Fornals at left wing back and then Benrahma at left wing back when neither of them do that job? I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't even want to begin to understand. Moyes has to answer that question. Peanut Butter Sandwich says Moyes has not won any trophies. We're not going anywhere with him. Look how far we've come. I'll leave that there. Scott says, hang about, are we going for Benny again? No, I'm only going for Benny because of what I saw on Twitter and how frustrated I was. Listen, we were shit tonight. Every single player on that pitch tonight was pony. I mean, pony.
Criticism not aimed at him.
Scott goes again after Jared. He was diabolical, should have been after 60. If I'm honest with you, he was the only one for me outside of Zuma and Declan Rice that actually seemed like he was trying to make anything happen. He was trying to make those forward runs, but for whatever reason, he looked a fish out of water today. I'm guessing, I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what formation we were playing.
It's a 3-4-3 apparently.
3-4-3, but he wasn't even out on that left wing, on the left wing, Rob. Right wing.
It was either a 3-4-3 or some like 5-3-2 because it really didn't look like
more 5-3-2 because Bowen didn't look like he was out on the right in the slightest. Ben Johnson looked like he was playing the furthest forward on the right, and I just don't get it. But for me, he was the only one that seemed like he was trying to make the runs in and beyond. You know, Kieran says that Benrahma was Southampton's best sub.
That's harsh.
And Kent says that Benrahma was awful tonight. Terrible first touch, slow, no cutting edge. It's paid to open doors and be a creative player, which we didn't see. And then West Ham says Benrahma was better than Vlasic. What is Vlasic's position? Well, again, listen, everyone's going to have their own arguments on the whole Benrahma situation. Sahil from the other day, we would, he jumps in on the conversation that Benrahma won't be the best player he can be under Moyes, and you know what? I'm entitled to agree with him. I don't think that Benrahma is a Moyes player. I don't think the way he acted the other week wasn't great. You know, it just I want nothing more than Benrahma to be a player for us. I really do. But tonight I just felt like he came on and he did nothing. I personally think that Lanzini had a fantastic first 15, 20 minutes when we were doing stuff, and then he kind of seemed to fade into the background. Fornals again, great first half, seemed to fade in the background. It all seems now that in hindsight, they came out second half ready to batter the shit out of us, and we weren't ready for it. And they did exactly that. They penned us back. They pinned us in. Moyes didn't have a clue on how to change it. The players didn't stand up to be accounted for. They kind of just let themselves get pushed around and bullied for, and it just annoys me. I know someone mentioned earlier in the chat, Rob, about why, and Athers said it, Tom said it in the chat as to why we ended up with, on 85 minutes, 2-1 down. But we still had 3 centre-backs on the pitch. Yeah,
I don't get that. Like I say, I think at that point, he literally should have been rolling the dice and gambling. I'd have forgiven him for that. I wouldn't have said that would have been an error. If he'd have put on, because who did we have on the bench? Let me just check. We had on the bench that we didn't utilise. Krell, Randolph, Okoflex, Alesse, Ekwa, Chesters, Perkins. Right, okay. So if you're going to make an attacking substitution, Okoflex, Chesters, Perkins, perhaps Ekwa, maybe, but certainly Okoflex. That to me, that would have been my go-to. I would have been bringing off one of them centre-backs and slinging him on and just saying, listen, you've got 5 minutes. There's literally no pressure on you. You've got 5 minutes. There's no expectation on your shoulders. Have a go. Express yourself. Play with no fear and see what happens.
Mate, I
Instead,
would have even bought off
the
two.
same old shit for the last 5 minutes plus stoppage time that
12
there had
minutes,
gone
wasn't it?
before. It was absolutely fucking ridiculous. I don't understand it. And listen, I'll put my hands up. I am a David Moyes fan, but tonight I'm like, mate, seriously, what the fuck was that all about?
Yeah, that was. I mean, that's to me. That's probably the my one gripe for tonight. Just why not roll the dice? But I mean, there's literally no one to blame but the 11 players on the pitch and the ones that came on. There's only 2 players that stood out, played really well. Honorable mention to Issa Diop. He did have a pretty solid game. Besides that clearance that Areola had to chest down, that was fucking insane.
Yeah, I'm still not sure how he kicked it forward and it went behind him. I've watched it 3 or 4 times back and I don't get it. That's a special skill.
Credit to Areola, great chest down.
He did really well.
Do you think that Jones got a point here that maybe we're now finding our level? Maybe did we overachieve last season and what we're doing this season is probably what we should have been doing all along?
No. Is a simple answer. We're playing an extra what? We've already played an extra 6 games with regards to Europa League. I'm not quite sure where we went out in the League Cup last year or the FA Cup, to be fair. But we've already added 6 games extra to our relatively small squad, or a very small squad. Let's not fuck around.
I think if we continue with the small squad mentality, I think that might be fair to say we've overachieved or reached our peak.
Reached our peak would be, I'd agree with you, yes.
Just because, I mean, time and time again, the thin squad the thin squad mentality comes back to bites us in the ass every single time.
Cheers.
Is that what we're suffering with, do you think, Budge? That's basically our Achilles heel at the minute.
Yeah. I think what it is, I think the expectation from the fans and everything else is the level of expectation has risen so much that we're demanding greater and greater feats from our boys, and they're just we're getting near the end of the season. Everybody's getting tired near the end of the season. And them lot are getting especially tired because there's very little rotation.
Is it over ambitious though to want a backup striker?
No, it's not. It's not over ambitious, Lucas. Not in my opinion. I think, my mentality is if you're going to go into any competition, regardless of whether it's a cup or a league or a table tennis game or a wanking competition, it don't matter what you enter.
So
you've got to win.
First.
Yeah, exactly that. And who gets it highest up the wall? But you've got to go in with a winning mentality.
Happy give me hand.
No matter what you're doing, come to win.
Happy give me
You
hand.
put me right off my track there. Fucking sitting there laughing at me. No, but I think you've got to go in with the ambition to win every competition you enter. And, that's what he's obviously trying to do. You can't fault the man's mentality on that point, but fucking substitutions, he needs to get that right. Someone needs to shake that word in front of him about 3 times a day.
He'd probably turn around and say something like, if he was having a private conversation with his, someone that he really trusted, he'd probably turn around and say, well, the reason I'm not making the substitutions is because, quite honestly, I don't trust the options that I've got. But that's because you didn't do the fucking business in the last however many transfer windows. We're where we are because of you.
Exactly. But we're where we are and we're where we are. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm talking in terms of
we're expecting so much because of him.
Yeah.
And we're not getting fuck all because of him.
I mean, Martin Keown said it on commentary. I don't know if you heard it. He turned around and said, he actually made the point. You look at the Southampton bench, and this is not Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool. This is Southampton. No disrespect to Southampton. But this is, this is Southampton. And he turned around on commentary and said, words to the effect of, you look at Southampton's bench and it's pretty strong, it's pretty deep, it's got quality, it's got options. And in his next statement, I knew what was coming out of his mouth as soon as he finished that sentence. He said, "You look at the West Ham bench, not so much." And I'm like, yeah, and that's our problem. Plan A is a pretty good plan, but when Plan A doesn't work and we need Plan B, you're looking at the bench and going,
Yeah.
Now
I mean, we clearly have one of the best Plan A's in the Premier League, but then Plan B is diabolical.
Well, no.
Like Ralph did exactly what he wanted to do tonight. He wanted to get into halftime 1-0 up or 0-0, bring in 5 subs that are 5 starters in case they're going to try and nick it or we go into extra time, and it's exactly what he did.
I can't even agree on plan A is working, because I personally think our plan A has been figured out. And our plan A is let's soak up, let them have the ball and we'll hit them on a counter attack.
Oh, that's another thing too. I am sick and fucking tired of watching us possess the ball. We are fucking shit.
Yeah, we are. But that's the problem, Lucas, is that teams have worked that out now that we're better without the ball. So now they go, you keep the ball, we're going to sit off you. Because we can't get through.
How ass
we
backwards
don't even
is
knock
that?
on the fucking door.
That's why there's so many cross-field balls.
It's not even that, buds. We're like playing knockdown ginger, but we're too fucking scared to walk onto the drive. We can't even get up to the fucking door and knock. We kind of go, we can't go past this bit. No, oh no.
Actually, there was a point
on the wanking contest.
There was a point when Ben Johnson broke forward and he cut into the corner of the box, and I thought, yeah, that's it. Go on, do what you did last time. Get it into that bottom corner. And he fucking tries to pass it off of a defender. What the hell?
It's like we walk up to a bird's house and we shrimp up and we walk away.
Oh, sorry. I want to say something on a positive note. I want to say hello to a new viewer in Pittsburgh.
Oh.
Lillian, hello. Thank you for joining us. I don't know
Lillian.
if she'll be in the chat, but she's definitely watching.
Oh,
hi, Lillian.
Good.
So
coming along. Give us a wave.
We need David Moyes to have a change of heart. That's what we need. He needs to start trusting some of the young lads. I mean, look, they're smashing it in the under-23s. They're absolutely smashing it. They're challenging for the title. They're absolutely smashing it. And I know the Premier League is a completely different puppy, but you don't know how good they're going to be until you give them a go. And like tonight, yes, it was an FA Cup game, but it was against Premier League opposition. Perfect opportunity to try them out. Perfect. And he chooses to just let them sit on the bench and get their legs cold. I mean, it's not fair. It's not fair on them boys.
Well, sitting in the green room, he's just swigging back on a nice little beverage. And,
I feel sorry for this poor bastard.
I'll tell you what, is that a can of Coke you got there? Yeah, it is.
Roller cola.
No advertising here, but
other cola brands are available. But if you need sugar to pick you up after that horrendous performance, then there's really only one that's going to get you
that's
through
all right, because I'm on number 9 of these bad boys, which is always good.
Oh, Vimto as well. Big drinks in chat, boys. You love to see it.
I need something that kills me faster, not slowly.
Bleach, my friends. Bleach.
Oh, it's 0 as well. That's got him.
I could come up with a really dark joke there, but I'm going to keep my
leave
mouth
that
shut.
alone. Let's not, Mr.
I've got a really dark joke there, but I'm going to keep it to myself. Charlie, what the fuck was that?
Shit. Next question, Your Honor.
Thank you, Charlie. There you go.
I was tempted to because I knew you'd bring me back, so I thought if I just leave now and it's an empty frame, then
I wouldn't do that to you.
Charlie, I'm guessing, Charlie, I believe you did the watch along this evening.
Depressingly, yes, I did.
Hold the phone. Is that Danny behind you?
Oh yeah, he's
Danny DeVito.
He's Danny.
man.
Look at
Big
that.
Danny.
Love it.
Big Dan.
You say
Big Dan.
Big
Dog.
Dan. He's
You'll have to shout. He's a long way back.
he's about 8 foot tall, but he's so far behind Charlie. We wouldn't know.
Yeah.
That's how it goes, isn't it? That's how it goes. We just, we have several DeVitos in this household. That we
Yeah, look, got travelling Danny.
Travel
You
Danny.
stick him up
Enough.
front.
Exactly, Reggie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need
Travel
to know
Danny,
why.
who legitimately is on the mantelpiece next to. There is a picture of my girlfriend and her nan from when she was a baby, and then Danny DeVito. So I've got my priorities straight.
Why?
What?
Charlie,
Why
I
not?
need a backstory, please.
Oh.
I would. Okay, so I bought it for
Something
my.
cheer me up on this shit.
I bought it for my
Come on.
girlfriend for Christmas. I bought her a Danny DeVito, a life-size Danny DeVito card. Life-size, accurate. And I got it, and then she was like, "I feel like this needs to be in your background." And so now, he's just he's about. If you
He
ever
lives
guy
there.
This is amazing.
vibes, he's got them in abundance. He's just about. He's knowledgeable. Is Danny?
It's legendary.
He's here. So
Well,
he just sits. He
I
sits
won't
and
lie,
guards
you made
me.
my day with that. It's brilliant.
Get yourself one, mate. They're on Amazon. It's beautiful.
All of us
Yourself-
just end up with Danny DeVito cardboard cutouts in
If
the
there's-
background.
No,
If
you
there's-
want Paul Hogan. Joke.
You prick. Right, hang on. Can I do this? Can I do this?
Oh
There
no,
we
he's
go,
going
right, he
to
can
press
fuck
that
off.
button.
Right, he's
Gotta
out.
get rid of
Right,
him.
Bollocks to him.
Oh, poor
That's-
Budgie. Let him
That's
back.
her.
Free the
That's her
Budgie.
that's done that. That's her that's done that.
Free the Budgie. I'll tell you what, I'm going to let him back in. There you go.
That's her that's done that.
Oh, bless you.
That,
Oh,
that thing in the chat with the double H in her name.
What, Kerry?
Yeah, Kerry, that's the one. She's done this.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. She's gonna put a comment in there, and she's gonna
It's
call
gonna be a
you a
comment.
rude
Yeah.
word. She's gonna
it'll
call you a rude
probably
word.
be yeah.
Not very
It'll
nice.
probably be
See,
something
this I
brief.
will quite happily pose for one of these
Ah.
in a pair of Speedos and Crocs.
Oh,
Danny has got Crocs on. That is one thing he does have on.
Hold
It's a
the
terrible.
phone.
It's a terrible picture of Danny. If I'm honest about it, he's been
You
caught.
need to bring this to the camera so
He's been-
people can see DeVito's Crocs. We need to see DeVito's Crocs.
Oh, look, she's trying to be innocent now. Look.
Charlie, are those
No,
short
I've-
salmon?
I don't think she heard what I said.
Look at
I
him.
might get away with it.
DeVito is in. Look at him. The DeVito's is in Crocs. He's my new hero. He's my new god.
I've lost all respect for him. It's gone.
He's
DeVito is
just,
my god.
they've clearly just packed him on the way to shops, and he's just look at. He's not even He's just looking somewhere. I don't know. He's just looking sort of about.
He looks old and all, doesn't he? It's not like the best picture that they could have got of the man. Let's
That's
be
probably
fair.
because he is old. He's got to be well into his 70s
Listen,
now, isn't he?
You keep on, you.
Look at that. What man? What man?
Charlie, where does the bulk of the responsibility lie as far as you are concerned for this?
Oh, we're going back to this, are we? For fuck's sake.
Well, no,
I think
but he's just turned up, Duke.
Listen, I don't mind never talking about West Ham again. Ideally, I think. Look, it's difficult because I do think, to some extent, I think he got the lineup correct. And I think first half we were right. I don't think we were outstanding by any stretch of the imagination, but I thought we were okay. I thought there were positive signs. I thought we were doing bits and pieces that we were doing against Wolves. We were pressing. We were making it difficult for them at times. I thought we were okay. We were down, but where were we at? I don't remember. All I remember was just being like, do you know what? Okay, it's not. We're not down and out sort of thing. I'll
we
take
missed
that.
an open netter in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Wow.
but on the positive side, we had the opportunity to do that, which is something we didn't really get again. We had a couple of opportunities and whatnot, but then, yeah, the second half was just dead. And I think we could all point at one thing or another and go, that's to blame. But if I think we'd be maybe doing ourselves a disservice a little bit. I think everything was to blame. I don't think Moyes made the right substitutions. I don't think he was quick enough with the substitutions. I don't think any of the outside of maybe Kurt Zuma. I don't think anyone really showed their true self. I don't think anyone was truly up to standards, and even Kurt Zuma got absolutely skinned at the end of the game to get done by Brozier. So I mean, I don't think I think it's one of those days where just everything was wrong. You know, it sucks, but it's true. It's what I said in the chat that Duke reacted to earlier. It's that idea of some games finish and you're like angry. You're like that. Oh, for fuck's sake, that ball. No, fuck. Like I was just like at the end, like by like 80 minutes, I was just like, all right, well,
I'm more of the I get so angry, then I'm tired because I'm so angry.
Sure.
I've used up all my energy being angry, and now I'm tired.
Yeah.
Sure.
We got to 90 minutes, and the ball went up 7. And there was a young lad that came in during the game, young West Ham lad, comes in the pub when we're on TV.
Perkins.
Have a little chat with him, and he's a nice kid. And he was. I turned to him and I went, "We got a fucking shot here at 7 minutes." I'm thinking, go on. Just go, just everything. Like bollocks to the defence. And honest to God, if I'd seen the fact that we'd gone, 6-3-1, and then a goalkeeper, and i.e. 6 being at the top end of the pitch, and we conceded a goal on the breakaway, and fuck, at least we tried. I wouldn't have been so, I wouldn't have been so angry at the third goal. It's the fact that they had a throw on. One of them missed it. Dawson headed it down to fucking Brozier, who went, "Thanks very much, I'll have a go here." Then beat 3 people and scored the goal. It's not like it was a breakaway from their goal where we tried to score and they've gone and scored there. All right, yeah, fair enough. We've had a go. Don't matter if you lose 2-1 or 3-1 at that point. But we didn't even fucking try in them 7 minutes.
That was shit. But to be fair, I do think Andre Mariner missed a handball that we could have had a free kick. But
yeah, and I don't think it was a penalty. But all of that in the grand scheme of things don't fucking matter.
I got to be honest. When it happened, my gut reaction was it was a penalty.
Did, you prick. You can fuck off.
That was before it even went to VAR. When it happened in real time, I thought, oh, that doesn't look right. And when he's looked at it and he's given the decision, listen, Duke, you've played football. You know if you know that ain't a foul and the referee gives it, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have a row with the ref, aren't you?
Yeah.
He didn't murmur anything, not a word.
No, you said
sheepish.
that, and I'm inclined to agree with you. But the second, you put it in the chat. You forwarded a message that I'm guessing was with your brother. You put it in the chat. You were like, "Well, you know what's fucking happening here, didn't you?" Yes. The cunt's going over at the monitor. Pardon my French. The person's going over to the monitor. He's going to have a look at the screen, and you know what's coming. You know what's coming. You know the second he's going over, have a look at his little fucking TV screen. He's coming back. He's going to go penalty. Fuck off. We are like, you didn't give it in the first place. So what makes you think you got it wrong? Like, the referee has the choice whether he goes over or he doesn't. I've been
told the protocol is that they go over there and the VAR essentially tells them it's a penalty and this is the reason why. I don't know whether this is true, but I've heard it said, a number of people have said that the instruction the referee is under is to basically take the VAR's instruction.
I've got no fucking nails left, right? Watching these last few games, right? Right? The game against, who did we play last?
Wolves.
Yeah, Wolves, right? I had no nails left watching that. I ended up at my elbows this evening because I was saying, because I've had enough now. I've had enough of this shit. Like, I know people in the chat and they're going, we found our limit and now we're overachieving. No, I don't buy into that. I don't buy into that we found our limit and we're now falling back away from it all. I don't buy into that. I don't. If we had a stronger bench, if we decided to purchase a couple of players in January. If we'd done this, if my granny had bollocks, she'd be me granddad, all that shit. I can't. Like, I can't. We're better than this. We're better than we showed tonight. The 11 players that were on the pitch I get they might be knackered. I get that. And then there's going to be the arguments. Well, they're paid 125 grand a week. They're professional sportsmen. They shouldn't be tired. Shut up, knobheads. Please shut up. I don't subscribe to that in the slightest. They're like any other human being. They get tired. They're going to get knackered. They're going to be running on empty. I get that. Yeah, but fuck mine, at least try to show some sort of effort. Try to show some sort of desire. Try to be a great thing. And I didn't see any of that tonight. I really didn't. And it pained me. Even with the goal seemed like it was just thanks, cheers, mate. You know what I mean? Caballero comes, and then we just kind of, whatever, let me stick a foot out. It wasn't like it was even it was like one of them DHL, when you get the card through. It was attempted. It was an attempted delivery.
Hermes turning up with delivery.
I attempted a goal when it went in. Yeah.
Problem is, Duke, is we were in the house and we know they didn't try because we didn't hear the knock at the door.
They tickled the knocker with a brush.
Yeah, they're just stroking at the door like this.
Yeah,
or they just drop it off 5 yards away and not giving a shit.
Chuck it over your garden fence. And it's got fragile written all over it. Brilliant.
I'm just angry. I'm annoyed. It's part of the reason, Rob, I wanted to do this tonight because I thought if I calm down a little bit, I'm going to be more reasonable tomorrow. And I don't want to be reasonable. I'm angry.
Yeah, I think people need to see this. I think and I'm not talking like in a negative.
We're all like this. Everyone in the chat feels the same way.
Oh God,
we need the likes of fucking Moyes and what they need to do is Moyes needs to come off the pitch at the end of the game. We need to go live. And Moyes needs to log on to YouTube and go, right, chaps, let's have a watch of what they got to say about us today then, shall we? And then we just that's what they need to do because, your fucking, what's he? Oh, why? Anyway, I'll come back to you, prick. Fucking Crocs comments. Everyone's at it now. Cheers, Kerry. That's what they need to see. They need to see this side of the fans because otherwise there's no... They can just go to bed of a night time and go, I've 75 grand in my pocket. Thanks very much. Cheers. It's my weekly wage done, isn't it? I just played a game, played 2. Cheers. Thanks very much. Turned up for training. But it ain't them that it bothers. It's us. It's us that are the ones that are going to be angry for the next 3 or 4 days and then probably angry again after the Liverpool result on Saturday for another 3 or 4 days before we end up going to the Seville game. And then we're going to be angry for another 4 days after that before we play on the Sunday. And then probably because of that, we're going to be angry before we play Seville again on the Thursday. And then more than likely, you're going to be angry even more for the next 4 days after we play Seville again.
I don't even want to think about Seville. My mental health will be severely tarnished by that.
Lucas, do you not feel that it's typical West Ham that we'll get spanked with? We got done tonight. We'll be embarrassed at Anfield on Saturday, and then fuck off, and then absolutely smash the shit out of Seville on Thursday. Like, is that not just typically us?
Yeah,
and that's why we'll grab hold of them like that and just fucking strangle the shit out of them. But it's typical. I mean, listen, Chris has turned up. They're lucky to still be in Europa League after playing against Randers. They can't start. You wind your neck in, boy. 12th place. Behave yourself. I'm not having it. I'm not having it tonight. I've been getting it from Millwank and Spuds downstairs. I'm not having it tonight.
You actually let them in your pub.
He's gone there, Rob. Kerry's got a lot to answer for.
What? This one.
The next one. she's got a lot to answer for, that fucking woman.
Do you know what, Chris? I think if we couldn't have done a worse job if we'd have been playing in Crocs. If I'm being completely honest with you,
Robert.
No, listen.
you
I know
not
they're
give
your
these
I know
people
they're your
freedom?
favourite footwear, and there's no need to have a
Robert!
What?
I'm
What?
gonna, right, you know what? Hang on. There it is. Right. Anyway, as we were saying, he can fuck off. Right, I've had enough of him. I'm gonna put the bang hammer on people in the chat as well if they keep on. I tell you, everyone's going tonight.
No, I'm going. I'm going to stay in the green room. Fuck you.
You know what?
Good evening,
No, hang on.
lads.
That's not fair. That's not fair. Get back in here, you.
Oh, listen. I need to have a bit of fun tonight. I'm at that point. I'm like, oh, why am I at the top? Why have you done that?
Well, because they're our guests, so I've got them sort of in the centre, and we're sort of either end. Is that all right?
So, am I the front of a human centipede? This is what I'm asking.
Well, you've been the front of a pantomime horse or two.
I don't know how. What's that mean for me, Jim? The front, this organisation here is gone wild.
Yeah, you're shit out of luck there, Charlie. Isn't it?
I'm done, bro.
Casey won't have a fun time.
Yeah, always. Budge, where do we go from here?
Are we talking the five of us or
Budgie? Yeah, Budgie. I said, where do we go from here?
Ow.
Oh God, where do we go from here?
Turn this around, don't we? Because let's be honest, our form.
Yeah, we do, and
since the transfer window,
I think he needs to stop relying on his favourite players. That's what I think he needs to do. I think he needs to start having faith in some of the other players that he's got.
Yeah,
like Vlasic, for example. Give him a shot up front.
Yeah.
Why not? Give a couple of the younger lads a go. Why not? What can you lose?
Yeah. There's Duke's pretending that he hates everybody, but he doesn't. He loves them, really. Keep those comments on Crocs coming in. He loves it. When we're off on the broadcast and we're exchanging messages, he tells me he loves it. He can't get enough of your insults about Crocs coming in his direction. Keep it coming.
Robert?
What? What? You did.
I've had enough.
Lucas, same question to you. Where do we go from here? We need what can we? How do we put this right? I mean, there's another 11 league games this season. We've got at least 2 games left in Europe. We got to turn this round.
I think. I don't know. I think Budgie makes a great point, but it feels like it feels too late to feel that Moyes is going to make like some sort of change like that. It sucks to say, but I think we're just going to keep on trucking and pray that something turns around, which sucks. But I can't see any other idea he has or concept he wants to put into place. I mean, Antonio scored tonight, so maybe that'll turn things around a little bit, but we're got to go to Anfield and pray for 0-0 or shithouse 1-0.
Do you know what? I think we'd be lucky to get 0, if I'm being honest. I think that's how it's going at the minute. Charlie, what say you?
I mean, yeah, I think Budgie makes a point. I think David Moyes has very much made his bed. Now it's time to lie in it to some extent. Yeah. And what he's doing right now is failing to get into it. I think you look at it, you say, look, we can't make any more signings. This is the squad we have. It's got a hell of a lot of limitations in very specific areas and very specific ways, and so you got to figure out your way around that. I think the 3 at the back formation, despite tonight, I think is potentially the way forward, at least for the short term. I think Pablo Fornals as a left wing back is. I mean, Lucas was seeing me banging on about Fornals during the watch.
I thought Fornals had a brilliant first half.
I did as well.
His passing was masterclass-esque.
Yeah, I think there's stuff like that where he's stumbled across something where I wouldn't have, like, if you told me, I said this on the watch along, but if you told me, oh, we should go to the 3 at back and we should play 4 hours as like the left wing back, I would have seen what you were saying, but I would have been strongly against it. Like, I would have gone, right, I can see it, he's got the work rate and all that sort of stuff, but not for me. I think the last 2 games he's shown to me, actually, yes, he definitely can do it. Like, it's not ideal by any stretch of imagination, but it's one of those things that Moyes is
something different, though, which I was excited about.
And Moyes is sort of consistently at West Ham stumbled into these mistakes. Antonio up front, Arnautovic up front to some extent, Bowen up front at times. Like, he's consistently done these things where all of a sudden, you know, we have a masterclass here, and I think the 3 at the back is definitely the way forward for now, at least for the next month or whatever. But you've just got to use your pieces better, man. Like, if, like, tonight, for example, great example, I thought he made the right decision. I thought he had made the right lineup. And I thought we were even good enough in the first half, but he just didn't use the pieces available to him better. When it was going wrong, he put Vlasic out on the left wing, which is just insanity. And you go, okay, well, what are you doing? Like, why would you do that?
I'm getting sick of that.
Yeah, like, A, why would you take off Fornals to begin with? But B, why would you put Vlasic at left wing back? Like, what possessed you to think that was an idea that was going to change things up? Like, Vlasic was playing as essentially a second striker, number 10 type, Dele Alli type, Thomas Muller type role abroad, and then he comes here and then we start sticking out at left wing, and then now we're sticking out at left wing back. It's stuff like that where I'm just like, you're not using the pieces that are available. And I understand he's in a bit of a rough patch to be to some extent, where he doesn't have the fullbacks available to him to make such big changes. I understand that, but when you're 2-1 down in the FA Cup, and Bowen, I in my opinion, wasn't having the best of games. I think I agree with what Duke was saying to some extent, that he was at least trying to do something. I think that's definitely a fair assessment, but nothing was coming off for him. Why not just roll the dice and bring on Okoflex, for example, in that position? And look, I'm not a guy who's going to sit here and like wax lyrical about how good Okoflex is, and oh my god, we need to play this youth player and that youth player and all that sort of stuff. But why not roll the dice? What's the point? Big plays. Why not roll the dice when you have the opportunity to? And that's the problem, is he can sit here, and what will probably happen is what we all know will probably happen. He'll probably keep playing the exact same 13 players for the next couple of weeks and just keep bashing his head against the wall, expecting a different result. And look, there is some benefits to playing the same 11 consistently. He did that in his first 6 months when he came back originally, the first 6 months, and I was getting very frustrated by it. But what I think the good times we've had since then have been because he persisted with them. It taught them the system. It meant they sort of naturally knew what they were doing. But right now, we're in a hole, and if those players that you've had so much faith in aren't delivering, it's time to look elsewhere. Yeah. And look, when you're 2-1 down in the FA Cup, if you're not looking elsewhere in that specific moment, then I don't know what to do. I think the 3 at the back is the right way to go, but I suspect we'll see exactly the same position, almost the exact same 11, barring maybe one for injury against Wolves that we saw against Liverpool that we saw against Wolves.
Does anybody know what the situation is with Cresswell?
My gut says it was an injury. I'm not certain though.
But I'm talking like, how long is he potentially out for? Would he be back for Anfield?
I think it was, again, I don't quote me on this, but I think it might have been a knock. But again, we'll find out. We'll find out very soon.
It's not going to be the groin, is it?
I was going to say he took one in the against Wolves, didn't he? He got one in the Twins, didn't he?
I would be more concerned about it if we'd heard about it beforehand. You know what I mean? I think him just randomly disappearing suggests to me that it is a knock, and he'll be back sooner rather than later. Potentially even, and looking at the bench tonight with how many youth players were involved in it, suggests to me also that this game wasn't exactly high up on David Moyes' priority list. And at that stage, if you've got a player who's vital like Aaron Cresswell is, and he has a knock, just let him have a rest. That's the way but again, don't quote me on that. I'm not sure.
Fair enough. I think we've been doing this for an hour, haven't we, Duke? Do you want to anything you want to add before we wrap it up?
I'm just still angry. I'm so angry. It's just bollocks. Like, I honestly, last night we were doing this conversation, Rob, and I honestly thought that we'd be sitting here tomorrow and we'd be talking about the possibility of a Wembley semi. You know, not being so fucking angry tonight. And we've been
now you're not going to get a semi tonight, are you?
Not with the amount I've had to drink, probably not. To be fair, I can try. I mean, no, let's not. I'm angry. I'm very angry. The players have let us down tonight. Moyes is to a degree let us down tonight, but the players on the pitch didn't turn up. The players on the pitch didn't do the job that we know that they're capable of doing. I really do believe that. Regardless of formation, I've said for years that I feel that the captain on the pitch should have the ability to turn around and go, this ain't fucking working, let's make a change. Be it formation, be it tactically, whatever. He should be able to go to the sidelines. He should be able to talk to the rest of the players on the pitch and say, listen, this ain't working, right? We need to make a change. And as far as I'm concerned, the manager should listen to that because, you know what, he ain't in the middle of the action on the pitch. He's sat on the sideline kind of watching. And he should be listening to, his captain that's on the pitch. So for me, Declan Rice should have gone to the touchline, after 55, 60 minutes and gone, Gaffer, this ain't working, this is shit. We need to do something about this. He should have gone to the players and gone, right, listen, we need to start upping our game. This is not good enough. And to a man, all of them out there tonight cannot walk off that pitch with their heads held high. They cannot have an ounce of respectability out of the back of that game. It was embarrassing. Moyes needs to have a long, hard think about why we still had three centre-backs on the pitch and we're still playing essentially a 5-3-2 at the end of the game. He can turn around and go, well, it wasn't. It was a 3-5-2. No, shut up, knobhead. It really weren't. The fact that we weren't one at the back with Dawson and Zuma playing up top either side of Antonio and really putting the pressure on the 90th minute, only Moyes can answer that. But the fact that the players were so poor prior to that, they need to answer that. They need to stand up and be counted because at the end of the day, all five of us here, the 20 people in the live or 21 people that are watching and they've all got questions. The 3,000 that we took down there? No, stop that. We don't need a new manager. Behave yourself. We'll come back. I'll deal with you another day when I'm sober. The players, the fans that went down to St Mary's today, they deserve answers. We've watched this and we've kind of we've got high expectations off the back of this season. We've got high expectations off of this squad that people say we've overperformed. I don't think we have. I don't think we've overperformed.
Certainly haven't tonight.
The players that we've got, when performing to the top of their ability, have got us to where they've got us. The manager, when dealing with the situations to the best of his ability, have got us to where we are right now. 5th in the league, prior to tonight, where we are in the FA Cup. We topped our Europa League group. Or to quote Peach, rah, rah, rah. Now, the question, when I don't think we're overperforming. I think we're performing where we can do when the players perform to the top of their ability. So the question now needs to be asked, again, why aren't we? Why aren't we performing to the top of our ability? Why have we suddenly stopped doing what we know we're capable of? And like the rest of them
because they're tired.
really
they're out of
frustrated.
gas. It's the same clutch. I mean, Charlie alluded to it
maybe.
earlier. It's the same 13, 14, 15
Yeah.
players that have in the main played the Premier League minutes this season. And they're running out of gas. They're running on empty. It's because he hasn't done enough business. He's looking at the bench and going, I don't fucking trust it. But that's on you, Mr. Moyes. That's your bench. You've been here for what, 5 transfer windows now. This is your squad. Anyway, Lucas, over to you, my friend. Before your final thoughts.
I guess we'll see what happens on Sunday. We'll see the same thing probably. Actually, lasting words that I've been using for the past month or so. We try to be too creative instead of adventurous.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my philosophical words I will leave you with.
Appreciate it, Lucas. Budgie, your final thoughts?
Oh, right. Well, final thoughts. Well, at least Tottenham didn't get any further than we did. There's one thing.
I like Peter. I like Peter.
It was slightly less embarrassing for us than it was for them, but no, I think, as you said, Lucas, we'll see on Sunday. But I got this. I just lost complete faith in the team's ability to react when they're down. They just didn't react. I mean, in the second half, I thought we didn't even look like we were going to trouble their goal at most, at some points. And I just think we need to step it up. We really do need to step it up.
That last little bit there, Reese, too much information. I didn't need to know that. That's just, I don't need that mental image, for God's sake. I'm going to bed. I'm going to go up and sort of oh, no. Oh, it's got to put me off. Charlie, your closing thoughts.
Shit, mate.
That's where we came in, wasn't it? We've gone full circle. There you go.
I'm making a new page. It's going to be shit, mate. Instead of Jack, mate. Shit, mate. I'm going to be shit, mate.
We'll
just
all
clips
be
of West
shit,
Ham.
mates. There you go. Right. I'm going to end it there, guys. Luke, what are we? Do you still want to do that? Yeah.
Mediocre at best.
We're mediocre and we're pissed off, Mr. Moyes. And I hope this gets back to you. You never know. But I will do my usual sign out, gentlemen. Come on, you Irons. Next year will be our year.